Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to She Boss Talk. I am your host, Shantae Arati. I am coming on today to talk about small business grants, local, state, federal grants, grants that you may not know about, that you need to know about so you can get free money for your business. So you already know that I am the free money queen. I have been helping thousands of entrepreneurs and small business owners get access to grants, get access to federal and state stimulus relief programs, and other types of funding that has helped businesses keep their doors open, help them pivot, and help them to be able to scale even in the midst of a pandemic that does not seem to be going away. So I know I have new viewers that come in all the time. So I want to welcome you in. If you have not subscribed already, this is definitely where you want to subscribe and follow us wherever we are on social media. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel because that's where we have all of our explainer videos that go into more detail to help you get access to money and other business and marketing solutions that you need to help you to be able to succeed in business. Do give this a thumbs up, hit the like button wherever you are so more business owners see this. If you have a peer that you think that you know that has been asking about where to find money for my business, my startup, or how do I get money for relief, you want to tag them in this video or share it with them wherever they may be. Okay. So hopefully I get a lot of notifications. I'm very busy with clients and people trying to reach out to me. So I do apologize for any notifications that do come up during this video. I want to tell you, I'm going to be really highlighting several several state run grant programs that are available. This by no means is an exhaustive list, okay? There are way too many. There are thousands and thousands of grants out there. New ones come online every single day, and it's too many for me to go over in a video. So I'm going to highlight these big ones. And then you can go to our website or to our grant tracker. All of our resources are in the comments, pinned to the description in the show notes of this video. So you can just go to those links. We have a grant tracker that is a free listing. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to pay for that. We keep updated with grants all the time, pitch competitions, and other funding opportunities, accelerators. Those are on the grant tracker, okay? So just go to our website at www.shebosstalk.com. We also have other resources you will see that are pinned to the screen here. One is our Winning Grants with Ease Masterclass bundle, and the other one is our Winning Grant Application Cheat Sheet. Both of these tools, the Masterclass and the Cheat Sheet, have helped thousands of small business owners just like you, no matter where you are in your business, to be able to get free money for their business. Please know that when you're going after free money, there's an art to it. Please do know you have to be active. It's not something that you can be passive, take a passive approach about it, and do know that they are competitive. But many that are in your state, is less competitive. They're just giving out money. They're literally just throwing out money, and they can't find you to give it to you. Okay, so we have many business owners that were just like you. They came across our channel here, and they started putting my instructions into action, and they were able to secure 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, and more for their business right in their local areas. Okay, so if they can do it, if I was able to do it, which I have, that's why my peers have called me the grant guru or the funding guru. That came out of the pandemic because I became well versed in all the funding sources that were available. I cater to small business owners, and I wanted to get money for my own business. I was pivoting at the time, right? And so I was getting money for my business, but I didn't want to keep it to myself. So I just started sharing. I started using my platform to educate other entrepreneurs and business owners on how to get the same money that I was getting. And so I've won several national grants. I've won several local grants in my area as well. And so again, there's nothing special about me except for the fact that I use the same information, same tools, tips, and tricks that I put documented in our tools here that can help you be able to do the same. And so it's important that you stand out as a business owner. It's important that you show up as a legitimate business that means business. That is what they're looking for when they're looking at your applications. Okay, so this is not just going over and telling you about the grant, but it's actually telling you where to find it and how to go get it so that you can use it to achieve your business goals. So I'm going to just start real quickly with the state of New York. So if you or someone you know is in the state of New York, state of New York has been really great about launching grant programs in the state. They have one right now. You will see that most of these states, they have set up a hub. So they have one hub for small business owners with a number of different grants, resources, and other things for small businesses throughout the state, so that you don't have to go around to different applications and websites to try to figure out what is available. They have one hub that is available for you. All of these grants that I'm going over in our grant tracker listed under the state grants. Most of these I will be mentioning today are COVID relief grants, but not all grants are COVID grants. There are a number of other types of grants, even in your state, that you can find and be able to get access to money. So I'm going to share my screen just for these three top ones that I'm going to highlight, just so you can see it. Give me just a second here as I set up my screen. And what did I say? We're going to the state of New York first. And I mean, these states, please understand that for these states, all of them received billions of dollars in federal relief, multiple times actually, to be able to support entrepreneurs and small business owners across the U.S. So even if you're international, there are international grant programs that are similar agencies, comparable agencies where you live that may have these as well. But the focus here is the U.S., okay, just for the purposes of this video. But you can see their New York State has several grants. They have had this ongoing for a long time here. So if I go over to this is their hub, is nysmallbusinessrecovery.com. And you can see it here. It says New York State COVID-19 Pandemic Small Business Recovery Grant Program. And on their page, it tells you what this grant is about and who it's for, what businesses qualify, how much you can qualify for is really clear here. You can see it on the screen. Hopefully, as I'm scrolling down, it tells you. Now, every state is different in how they run their programs, what businesses they cover, how much that they're giving. And I can really tell you some states are better than others. Even our state of Ohio has had grant programs, and they've had many, but they still left out several businesses, okay? But you can see it's telling you the different awards. So the minimum you can get, right? Annual gross receipts between $25,000 to $49,999, right? 9 is $5,000, and then they go up to a max of $50,000. Just think about it. How much money do you need for your business? What will help you take your business to the next level? What will help you get off the struggle bus with your business? Is it 5? Is it 10? What is it? What will help you to be able to expand your business? You need to know that. You need to document it, and you need to be able to communicate that to the grantors, because they're going to ask about it, right? So every application is different, but you can see here, you can get up to $50,000. So I know many peers of mine that are in New York, they have gotten this grant, have applied for it, but guess what? They still have several business owners, many thousands, that don't know that this program exists, have not attempted to apply for this program. So that's why sharing is so important. Sharing is caring. And I appreciate you all sharing out this information in video and tagging your people in it, because who wants to leave any free money on the table? Grants are money that you do not have to pay back, okay? But you know that they always state what the criteria is. So you can see on this website, it's telling you, it's outlining who is an eligible business, what makes you ineligible, what are the eligible uses. Every grant program will tell you what makes you eligible. So it's clear, you go look on it. Is your business eligible or not? Okay. And if it's not, there may be another program that is. What can you use the money for? They clearly tell you on their website what you are able to use the money for. And we all know if it's a business grant, you must use your funds on business related purposes. Some are more restrictive than others. Some have issued grants that said do with it what you want, but you need to know what grant you're applying for and how they want you to use those funds. You also need to know if there's a reporting requirement. And usually there's a requirement as far as you maintaining records, documentation. There may be some reporting requirements because they can come back at any time to request information regarding your funds, and you must be able to provide that information to them. They also further down go into an application guide. So guess what? They don't just have this in English. They know that they have many different residents, business owners that speak different languages. So you can just click on the language that applies to you, and it will give you the information in your language. And you can download the certification. So if there's a certification or other type of information required, they will let you know, as you can see here, right? Proof of gross receipts. A lot of grants want you to be able to demonstrate that you actually suffered a loss due to the pandemic, because we know businesses were up, running, thriving in 2019 and 2020. All the businesses closed, and not by choice. It was forced on us by the government to do so. Okay, so you have to be able to show that, provide the necessary tax forms depending on your business, proof of organization. And I always say this: you must be able to show that you are a legitimate business, that you are a legal operating business in the state that you live in. If you are not there yet and you have a business, you need to get there. Because that has been a barrier to a lot of businesses getting access to grant funds, because you are not legally set up, incorporated, and registered with your state. That is one of the ways to be able to show that you are serious about your business and that you're a legitimate business. They want you to be able to provide proof of location and current operations, because we know a lot of businesses went out of business. So they want to make sure if you went out of business for good, closed your doors, dissolved your company, that you're not seeking out funds to help a business that no longer exists. There are businesses that do it, have tried it, have done it, and they want to prevent that. And then there's an area where you can begin your application, is giving you tips on how to make sure that it's a smooth process. And they give you the contact information should you need help in the language that you need help in. Okay, so this is the New York State grant. And again, many of these, they close down different rounds and they reopen new rounds. So many of these states have had several rounds of grants. So please, if there is a state that you're in and their grant have closed, they will tell you if it's closed, what round is closed, or if it's closed for good. Okay. But typically, because they have so much money, they know that businesses still need help. We're still in the height of the pandemic. They pass new bills in the state to give more money to fund these programs. Okay, so just make sure that you get in your application while it's open. Do not wait till the last minute. We have so many people waiting till the last minute, putting it off. They don't put it on their schedule, and then the simple things like that will cause you to miss out on major money. This is serious money we're talking about here that can make a huge difference in your business. So I'm going to now pull up Illinois, because Illinois has a grant as well. And let me share my screen. Shout out to those in Illinois. If you're in Illinois, you're in New York, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your business is. Again, we're talking about free money. This is grant money for your business at the local and state levels. It's so important that you get the money for your business. Let me see. I think this is it. Okay, this is Illinois. Okay, so Illinois has a grant program, and you can see it up here, and the website is here. It's also in our grant tracker. A different agency, depending on your state, may be operating or administrating the grant program. We see here Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. Every state has one of these types of departments or business development a department or agency in your state. Usually you start there. Okay. If you don't know where to start, just start at your governor's office and they will point you in the right direction where to get assistance for your small business. So we know many businesses don't even know about this. So Illinois, if you have a small business, they do have a grant program. And again, they give you a complete overview and they update this every time they pass a new bill for new funding. So it clearly says that the governor provided $250 million in back to business grants, right? This is a back to business, a grant program. They all have different names for their grant programs. But they have that available for recovery grants for those that was hardest hit during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is an equity-focused business relief program which directed $290 million to 9,000 businesses in 98 communities. And it's saying it's a key component of the governor's $1.5 billion economic recovery plan. So most states have a recovery plan and have millions, if not billions, that are allocated to support small businesses. So it's telling you how much funding is available, what businesses it's available to. And so $100 million for businesses located in disproportionately impacted areas, $30 million for arts and entertainment, $25 million for restaurants and taverns. Those of you that were not able to get the restaurant revitalization grant, because of the litigation and the fact that they didn't have enough funds to support all the applicants, states have restaurant grants that many of you all have not applied for. Go apply for these grants, restaurants and taverns. If that is you, let me know in the comments. There's $25 million available for you if you're in Illinois. Hotels. Do you know states are, even if you have a hotel that you run, yes, small businesses run hotels, own hotels, $25 million for you, $25 million for businesses that didn't receive a big grant due to the exhaustion of funds. And so it's clearly telling you there that what the requirements are. And guess what? Grants will range from $5,000 to $150,000 per business and can be used to cover a wide range of operations, staff, overhead costs. And for hotels, you can get up to $250,000. So we can see the differentiation between New York and Illinois, right? New York, it was up to 50, which is great, still fantastic. This gives you even more. You can get up to $150,000 per business that applies to this program and is approved for funding. That is huge. So the minimum you can get is $5,000. That will make a big difference in a lot of businesses. We already know most businesses need less than $25,000 to really help to keep their business operational and keeping it elevated and sustained. And so then it goes over the eligibility requirements as well. We'll always tell you what revenues and if you have to have reductions. So it's saying you have to have 20 million or less. If it says less there, that means less than 20 million or less than whatever the number that is stated. So if you have 100,000 in revenues, that includes you. Anything less than the numbers, and for a hotel is 35,000, and it's telling you priority categories, priority zip codes. It does also reference what happens if you receive PPP, restaurant revitalization funds, shutter venue operators grants, and other programs. So it may be a reduced amount. They will tell you on the application process, and you can see here there's a big apply button, so they want you to see it. And it's again in different languages. And then there's help information as well. It has webinars. If you need more information on this specific grant, you can just go and watch one of the webinars that are available to you, and then make sure you get an application in. You can't get anything. You will get zero if you don't submit an application. Okay. So thus far, I have talked about or covered New York, Illinois. Now I'm about to talk about California, because California has had some of the most of grants and the largest. I mean, over $1 billion. I mean, maybe even 2 billion at this point. And they have had multiple rounds. So I'm going to pull up, and this will be the last one that I'm actually going to share on the screen. But these are some really big ones. And again, I know you all have peers that are in these areas. Please let them know. Ask them, do they know about the grant? Have they applied for the grant programs? Because many of them are begging for business owners. They're begging for business owners, and they can't even get the business owners to apply, right? So we know some business owners are technically savvy. Some are not on the internet. Some are not on social media to even know that these grants exist. You have businesses in rural areas that a lot of times don't get access to the information. So I'm pulling up California. Let me just make sure it's on the screen. Here we go. So this is California's grant. Okay, they have had several grant programs. This is their main hub, is Care Leave Grant. Okay, so Care Leave Grant .com is the website, and it has all the information on their grants. So they're clearly telling you here that it's California Small Business COVID-19 Relief Grant Program, and this program is funded by the state of California and administered by Cal OSBA. And they are on round 8 for nonprofit cultural institutions are now open. So different rounds for California have had funded different grants for different businesses. So this includes nonprofits and small businesses and entrepreneurs. Again, just check with your state and the round that they are giving out grants. So I know shout out to my peers in California, know many of you all that have received this California grant. I know many of you all that are on the wait list, so it even speaks to the wait list and moving through that process. So that's what I mean. You want to get your application as soon as possible. You want to be one of the first ones to get it in so that they can get to your application and get you the funding that you need. Okay. So right now, so it's telling you they're on round 8 for nonprofit. If we scroll down here, it's telling you exactly what the funding rounds that they have had. That's a lot of rounds. Okay. And it's been a lot of money that they have funded and funded and funded this program, adding more money and more money and more money to the pot. And I don't anticipate that will end this month, or maybe not even next month. So we can see the different rounds that they have had. They talk about round 7 and when that ended. So they're clear. This is another just example of if an application closed or one round closes, get on their wait list, right? Get on their notification. They will notify you when the next round comes so that you already know. If they tell you next round is next month or next quarter, mark your calendar. So you already know you're ahead of the game and you can monitor the website. You already know where it is so that you can get your application in. Okay. So for California, it's specifically for these nonprofit cultural institutions. So if that's you, there you go. This award is up to $25,000 for this grant. And I know even for small businesses, the grant amount was up to $25,000. If you have received this grant, please let me know in the comments. Okay. So they already say that they have a round 9 coming up and what to expect for round 9. And they have the guidance here. Any application certifications that you can download if you're a for-profit or nonprofit is also giving you key additional information. Again, most would tell you exactly what you need. And a lot of you all, when I put the grant cheat sheet together, cheat sheet and checklist, I did that because there's still so many businesses that don't really operate as a business. They don't have a clue of what these documents are that they're asking you for. So I cover key documents that most every grantor or funder is going to request of you, and you need to have it. It can be the difference between you getting $5,000 or zero, $50,000 or zero, if you cannot provide documentation to support your business, to show that you're a legitimate business, that you have proper tax filings, that you keep accurate records of your sales and expenses. If you don't have those things, then that is going to prevent you from getting access to grant opportunities. So that's why you need to take the steps right now if you do not have your business properly set up to get it set up. If you need assistance, you can always reach out. You can email us at hello@shebosstalk.com. We have actually a toolkit called the Startup CEO Toolkit that helps you know exactly what you need to do, what steps to take to get your business properly set up. So it's telling you that here, and it's also telling you the different amounts, right? So for this one, based on your revenue, it's telling you, if you made $1,000 in revenue in 2019 annual, you could get a $5,000 grant. Okay, so it's telling you the range here: 1,000 to 100,000 gets 5,000, right? Greater than 100,000 and up to 1 million get 15,000, and greater than 1 million and up to 2.5 million get 25,000. So if you made 1,000 in a year, and so this goes back to a conversation that I had across social media the other day about not small business owners not reporting their income properly or at all, or not all of their income in a bank account, a business bank account, right? And keeping track of it and reporting it on your tax returns. I don't care how much, if you made a little bit of money in your business, you need to be following these instructions. You need to be filing your taxes. You need a business bank account, because that 1,000 that you reported in a personal account can keep you from this 5,000. That 1,000 you didn't report on your tax returns can keep you from that 5,000, can keep you from this 15,000 or the 25,000. Because I know businesses that's making a lot of money that still don't properly report their income. Okay. And so they've been left out of a lot of these opportunities because they haven't gotten it right. But once they come across our program, they start taking the necessary action. The time is now, because maybe you didn't qualify for yesterday's grant. You get your things together now. You get your business in order. There's more grants coming on tomorrow, next week, next month that you then can get. Okay. So we're all start where you are and grow from there. Start taking action in your business. Okay. And then this one also tells you what is eligible, who's eligible, who's not eligible, and how they will actually determine who the grant recipients are. And they tell you that here. They go down this long list, and there is a list of ineligible businesses, right? So you need to know what those ineligible businesses are and if that covers your business. They also go into the different required documents. So this is consistently across the board. You've seen that they're asking you, they're clearly telling you what the requirements are, what you need to spend the money on, what required documents you need to provide with your application when you're submitting it. And if you need help, there's always contact information. One of the number one reasons why people don't get grants, they think it's complicated, right? And they say, I've applied for grant after grant after grant and grant, and I haven't gotten it. One of the main reasons is not following instructions. Just simply doing what they ask you to do, providing the documents that they ask you to provide. If they ask you for an ID, you're not going to go give them some other type of document they didn't ask for. You give them exactly what they're asking for. And then you monitor your emails. That's one of the second main reasons people lose out on money. I know people that all throughout the pandemic lost out on free money and other types of funding, stimulus money also. Why? Because they didn't check their inbox. They didn't check their spam folders. And the email was sitting there. It told them they had 7 days. It might have told them they had 2 weeks or 30 days to respond back, to fix something, or to give documentation, or to verify their business, or verify their identity. And they didn't respond in time, and they lost out on the grant. It went to someone else. Don't let that be you. Okay. So again, this is the California grant. They are on round 8. They have a round 9 that is coming up. So this is great information for you guys to let you know. I know a lot of the federal stimulus programs are dwindling down, but grants are not ending. I said this way in the beginning of the pandemic to get ready then, because more and more grants were coming on board, right? There's grants for if you trying to start a business. I just got off of the phone with a gentleman. Hopefully you're watching, comment if you are, who's trying to start a business and wants money for that business, okay? To start up, there's grant money for that. There's grant money for women in business, grant money for Asian business, Black business, small business, beauty business. It's all types of grants, industry specific, non-industry specific grants. Grants in your local area that only you can get. Some of them are geographically designated. So if there's a grant in Ohio, you live in California, you can't get an Ohio grant, but that doesn't mean that there's not a grant available for you. You go look for the ones that's in the state that you live in. Okay? There's a grant for everyone. And people ask me this question all the time. Oh, it seems like all the grants are for women, or all the grants are for Black-owned businesses. Understand that there are underserved communities or minorities, okay, that have been hardest hit, and they've been the most left out of most of the federal funding that has been made available. So more organizations and companies are coming on board to help bring those businesses up to the level that other businesses are. I mean, that's just the reality. That's what it is. But that doesn't mean that there's not a grant for other types of small businesses, because there are. Just look at the grants. They will tell you exactly what makes you eligible. If you're eligible, then apply. Okay? And don't worry about what grants aren't available to you. Focus on the ones that are, because there's no shortage of ones that are available. And they may come in the form of a grant. There may be a pitch competition. And I think the gentleman also said is competitive. Yes, you want free money. There's going to be work you have to do, but we give you the tools and resources to make it easy. I mean, for me, it was easy because I already have my business in order, right? I've been running a business full time for 7 years. And so I'm a business consultant. And so there's things I already know that everybody in business does not know. You're running a business, but you may not have that business skill set. You may not have business acumen. So I created tools and master classes to help you succeed in whatever area you're trying to succeed in. And right now is getting money for our businesses, right? Free money for our business. Because we have not weathered the storm. The storm is still in full force. We're still in the height of the pandemic. Businesses are still suffering. And those that are doing well still have additional expenses brought on by the pandemic and the change in the economy, which increase supplier costs, food costs, inventory costs, right? Now we have businesses trying to keep employees. So now they're paying higher wages. So we already know labor costs are already high. So now you have higher labor costs. So every business, I don't care what stage in business you are, at some point you're going to need money for your business. You're going to need capital. And there's a number of ways to find it. But hey, you want to get the free money that you can first. That's why we're here talking about free money that you can get for your business. Okay. So we talked about California. We talked about New York. We talked about Illinois. Louisiana has a grant. A shout out to all those in Louisiana that was hard hit, even those on the East Coast, New York, that were hard hit by the Ida hurricane and the floods that came after that. We send our prayers for you, but know that they're also going to be relief for you. So be on the lookout for that, for Ida, disaster relief in your state, and federal funds for that, for Ida, okay? So be on the lookout for that as well. So Louisiana has a grant for nonprofit and small business owners. It's called the Small Business Assistance Program, as well as other things that you can find there as well. Ohio, we have had a number of different rounds. They actually just put out, I'm on the email list. So they have like 4 different grants right now that are available. I know hotels, lodging, restaurants, new businesses. So even our state, which I didn't see them with the other states, are giving grants to new businesses. Now, they still left out people, but that's when it comes time to advocate and call the governor's office and say, hey, look, I saw these businesses, my business was affected, and why am I being left out of this grant program? Where is the money for me? And when will the program be open that will include my business? Okay. And that includes a lot of businesses that don't have employees. They have 1099 workers. They should be included. And I've seen states that include that. They say employees, and they include it because they know most minority businesses have 1099 workers. They may not necessarily have W-2 workers. Okay. So you have to advocate for yourself. But even in Ohio, they said that there's still millions available. And they need more millions because there's still business owners that they have not considered that they need to add. Okay. And I continue to advocate and petition for that and call my governor's office and the minority business agency as well to speak about these types of things. And I encourage you to do the same. Washington has a Restart grant program as well. So if you are in Washington, you definitely want to go to their website. Again, it's on our grant tracker. If you go directly to our website, you will see a COVID resource tab. Just click on that. There's sub tabs underneath, but just click on that tab and you will come to the grant tracker. You'll just scroll down. You'll see a lot of the federal relief. Then you will see state programs. Then you'll see federal and nationwide grant programs that are available on that list. Wisconsin has Wisconsin Tomorrow Main Street grants, bounce back grants. So they all have these unique names for small business that they have these grant programs for. And again, the amounts are different. So again, just go to the website in the state that you're at and look and see what programs are available for you as too. They may have, and a lot of them do technical assistance. They maybe have other types of programs like accelerator programs, tax credits available for you as a small business owner. All of that is free money. So whatever you call it, there's different names. Free money is free money, and I'll take it any way that it comes. Right? There may be a program that if you have employees, they're paying you to hire, or they're giving you a tax credit to hire employees, or giving second chance to those that were formerly incarcerated. States have a number of different programs that are COVID related and non-COVID related. So don't just look for the COVID related grants. There's many other grants that are available as well. And so some of the agencies, and we list them also on our website, but you look for your Chamber of Commerce, your women's business centers, your colleges and universities that have innovation centers and entrepreneurship centers, your urban leagues, your minority business center, your veterans business center. Yes, veterans, there's a lot of benefits for you as well. I just talked to a veteran the other day, was talking about a lot of the benefits, but do you know a lot of veterans don't know about the benefits that are available for them? We actually have a grant for veterans on our website right now, on our grant tracker, specifically for veterans to help you in your business and your entrepreneurship ventures. So churches, I received a local grant from a church, right? And I found that in a Facebook group. For all of you all that are in these online groups that, you're not really engaged, you're not building relationships, that's a missed opportunity, because one of my peers shared that her church was giving out grants. And I was the only one that responded to it. And I did not wait, procrastinate, delay. I took action that right then. I dropped what I was doing. I drop whatever I'm doing. I make it a priority to get free money. And I still do. And I got their grant. And I got the grant to help support other businesses here in the local area, which I wanted to do. So there are grants all over the place. And many of you are missing grants at your city level. There's your city government. Okay, you have your state government, but what about your city government? Okay, they have a business center, a business agency, a business department, some department that deals with and helps entrepreneurs and small business owners. Okay, that's your city. Then your county, at the county level. And guess what? Your county and your city all got federal money, stimulus money to help support small business. So your county may have a grant. And I already talked about it. There's several instances, but one lady in particular, I was just so proud of her. She saw one of my videos. She wrote down everything that I said. She took note of everything that I said, every step that I told her to take. And she reached out to her county government office, asked them if they had a grant available. They said yes. They told her what to do. And had she not came across my video, she would not have had what she needed to get the grant. But she did, and she took action, and she came back and told me exactly what she did. And she explained to me in 12 days, it took her 12 days to get $20,000. And it wasn't competitive because guess what? Not a lot of business owners even know that they have a grant at their city, county, and state levels. So it's not even highly competitive. It's just who's going to apply. Who applies? You're going to get the money. If you have your business in order, if you can provide your verification of your business, they're just giving away money. They just can't find the businesses to give it to. So that's why I'm talking today about local and state grants. I'm going to talk about the federal ones, but the main focus is on those local grants because you need to be looking at, you're not even looking in your own area, in your own backyard, and it's right there. And guaranteed, I've heightened your awareness. You're going to go back and find out that there's programs available to you in your local area. They're there. And again, if they're not, some of your states are lacking at the state. I don't know what's going on with some of your governors and your leaders, but you need to get on them. I don't know what they're acting like. We're not even in a pandemic, that the small businesses aren't suffering. And so they have no programs. And so they haven't even allocated monies for these type of programs. That's ridiculous because every state receives federal money multiple times to help give you relief. And if they're not doing it, then you need to stand up and use the power as a small business owner. Use your voice and make your voice heard and get them to open up a program to support you and your small business. Gather you all together and call or go down there or do whatever. Sign a petition together or have everybody calling back to back to back. That is going to get attention. Go to the news, whatever you have to do. Sometimes it takes that before they take action, unfortunately. But I'm proud of a lot of states that are really doing what's necessary to continue to help small businesses. Because even when the restaurant revitalization grant that thousands were already awarded and it was rescinded, they almost had the money. Then it was rescinded because of litigation. So they never even got their grant. So there was a big push on states to open up grants to help the restaurant industry. That has been one of the hardest hit industries out there. Okay, so the money is out there. Go apply. If you've received a grant of any kind, please let us know in the comments. Let people know that it is possible to get a grant and other types of funding that is available out here. Okay, so it's a lot and they keep coming on. Okay, then there's national grants. You can go to our grant tracker for that. Now there's two grants that I'm going to talk about before I close out. And these are not local grants. These are federal stimulus programs. Because again, I always have new viewers and you may not have heard about these programs or know what actions you need to take. First one is the Paycheck Protection Program is closed. But if you received funds, you need to request forgiveness. Use the money, 60% on payroll, 40% on non-payroll related expenses. Okay. And then you need to be using the funds within an 8 to 24 week covered period. Those that have received $150,000 or less in PPP funds, you can go to everybody can go to their lender. But if your lender has opted into the SBA Direct portal, you can apply directly through that portal. I need to check for the update on the reports because they just updated these reports like yesterday. Right? They hadn't updated them in like 2 or 3 weeks. So I was waiting on that update. But there's still more than 50% of you all that haven't requested forgiveness. And it is not automatic. I don't want you to get a bill in the mail that says your first payments are due because you just thought it was automatic. It's not. But it is an easy process for especially those of you, which is the bulk of the ones that are outstanding. Those from gig workers, 1099 workers, independent contractors where you got a PPP loan. And you just haven't requested forgiveness. So use the funds for what it's intended. It must be eligible expenses. We have tons of explainer videos on the program on how to give forgiveness, on eligibility, on covered periods. Just go to our YouTube channel and check out those videos. We have a playlist for that. But get forgiveness. So I just found out today, it was a pop-up blocker. I kept going to check the status and I didn't know my pop-up blocker wouldn't allow me to see the status. But I was shocked that I didn't hear from my third PPP, which is the second draw that I received, that I didn't get a notification. But they had sent me an email saying there was a status update. I'm like, I'm not saying anything. And what do I tell you all? You can't just sit by. You have to call. Now, I've been busy, but I said, okay, I'm calling today. And I called. And that simple call, talking to someone, she pulled up my information and said, ma'am, SBA and Huntington has fully forgiven your loan. So all three of my PPP loans are forgiven. That means they became grants. They went from being a loan that I had to pay back to a grant that I don't. I'm free and clear, okay? And I have that documentation to prove it, and I will be saving it, making sure if anything ever comes back to say otherwise, I have my documentation right there to show that I got it forgiven. So for all of you that have gotten yours forgiven, please let us know in the comments as well. If you have not, take those steps to get it forgiven. If you need help, we do offer one-on-one assistance. The link is in the description and the show notes. But you could, it is a simple process. The second draw may be a little bit more complicated. Or if you received over $150,000, the process is different. So there's a lot more that you have to provide, a lot more documentation. But under $150,000 is a very simple process. Okay, not everyone has gotten full forgiveness. I believe about 6% of those receive PPP funds have not had all of it forgiven. 6%. Okay. SVO grant, that's a shutter venue operator grant. If you receive that grant award, the SBA is already sending out the invitations for the supplemental grant. So this is one of those grant programs that you get a supplement. And we know this was one of the largest federal grant programs of up to 10 million. So between that, the initial award and the supplement, you can't get above $10 million. 10 million is a lot of money. So if you got that grant, congratulations to you, because $10 million, even if it's 100,000, right? Everybody's not going to get 10 million, but that means a lot of businesses got a lot of money. Again, it was one of the hardest hit industries. And if you got an award, you can get up to 50% of the award that you already received through the supplemental grant. Okay. I believe you have to be able to show a 70% decrease in gross receipts. So it's for those that were hardest hit of the applicants, of those that applied and were funded. So that is the Shutter Venue Operators Grant. It's also on the sub tab of our COVID tab. Or you could go directly to sba.gov to learn more about that. But you should see an invite in your email from the SBA, okay? Because that's how you're going to apply. They send you an invite, okay? With that said, the targeted EIDL advanced cash grants, okay? Grant advance is the same thing, okay? So this is just a reminder, and I do this all the time because we have new viewers all the time, and there's so much money that's still left. That is waiting for you to apply for it. And so few business owners and entrepreneurs have applied for the targeted EIDL grant, up to $15,000. There is still about $27 billion remaining in the targeted EIDL advanced grant program that is unallocated. That new applicants, those that applied to the EIDL program in 2020, if you applied in 2021, it was expanded. It is open to you, whether you applied in 2020 or 2021. Now, this is another program, you must be invited. So a lot of you all are going to my older video for the loan. That is still a great video because you have to apply for the EIDL loan first to get invited to apply for the grant. So you can go back to that video. If you have not applied to the loan program, apply. You do not have to be approved for the loan to get the grant. And you do not have to accept the loan to get the grant if you are approved. But it's a great program, and many have applied for it and still waiting on their money and waiting on their modifications and are getting their modification they increase the max to $500,000 that's for the loan. And they're getting ready. The SBA is getting ready to announce the increase to $2 million. So once they do that officially, they said after Labor Day, I will come back on to give that update. Once you apply for the EIDL loan, they send you an invite to apply for the targeted EIDL advance grant, and it will be in an email. Check your inbox and check your spam folder because they will get it. Someone told me the other day they got their invite, what to do with it. We have videos explaining step by step on what to do to apply for that grant. Okay. Now, you must first qualify for the EIDL loan, meaning you had to have been in business on or before January 31st of 2020. If you did that to qualify for the EIDL grant, apply for the loan, get the invite, then you, for the $10,000 max or the balance thereof, for those that applied in 2020, you need to have 300 employees or less. You need to be in what is considered a low income community based on the SBA's map. Now, it's different than if you think you're in a low income community. Your address must be on the map and say that it is in a low income community. So simply go to the map, see if you are in a designated low income community based on the state that you live. And if it's yes, then you met that eligibility requirement. Okay. You must also be able to show that you have a 30% decrease in gross receipts, gross sales, gross revenue. It's all the same thing. Okay. Business sales in your bank account. Okay. You must be able to show that loss in a quarter in 2020 compared to the same quarter in 2019. So they give a chart, a table, where you must account for every sale every month of sales, every month and every year in 2019, 2020, and 2021 up to September, because we're in September. Okay, we're almost at the end of the year at this point. But a lot of people have struggled with this table and they get it wrong and they get denied. Okay, so you need to know what you're doing, what you're submitting. So that's why several people have booked one-on-ones, because they want to make sure that they get it right so they get their money sooner rather than later, before Congress takes $17.1 billion when they pass this infrastructure bill, because that's the plan. Because right now it's unallocated. Right now they're like, they don't even have people applying. Right? And it's not that the businesses aren't out there. You just don't know about it, and they're not doing enough outreach. Their outreach is not good. So that's why I come on and tell you all about it, because I never know who's watching, that didn't know about the program. If some of you all applied for PPP and you had no clue that EIDL even existed, that this was even an option. It's an option, and a good one. It's another grant that you can get. And this is not even you competing. It's first come, first serving. If you can validate that you meet the requirements. This is another grant that I received. I received the 15, the 10, and I waited a year and a half to get it. Okay. I was one of the first applicants back in 2020. They ran out of money. They reopened the program. When they reopened the program, I watched my email like a hawk for my invite. And I dropped what I was doing when I got that invite and applied. Okay. But it's easy for me because I already have my documents in order. I don't have to dig through and try to figure out what are they asking for. It's already ready. So it only takes me 5 or 10 minutes to fill out any of these applications. And that's where I want you to be able to get to, where you're not struggling to figure out what to submit and then have problems being able to get through the process, get approved, and get funded. Okay. So that's up to 10,000. Then they also have a supplemental grant up to 5,000. Okay. Up to 5,000. This is only available for 1 million businesses, but that's a lot of businesses, and it's still a lot of money left. I think they're up to maybe 1.5 million, just short of that billion. 1.5 billion. There's 5 billion dedicated to this supplemental grant program. Now, in order to qualify for that, you need to still be in a low income community. You must have 10 employees or less. That's W-2 employees. Okay. And you must be able to show a 50% decrease in gross receipts in a quarter in 2020 compared to that same quarter in 2019. Don't give them employee W-2 income. Don't put down unemployment income. Don't even put down other grants. They're not asking you for that. All they want to know is, what did you produce in sales from selling your products and services in your business? But there's so many of you all that still don't know what you made because you're not tracking it. Your cash only operation. We have to change that. You're not even using bank accounts. You're using these cash apps and whatever else. You're not accounting for your income. And then you're not even putting it on your tax returns. So you must be able to show both. Okay. So you must submit your tax return and it show business income, not your employment income. These are for those gig workers, 1099 independent contractors that may not be set up as a like legalized business, right? Legally structured business. This is one of those programs that is available to you, right? But other programs, you're going to miss out on a lot of other programs if you don't get your business in order. And many of you all have been locked out of this and PPP because you just didn't have these basics in order. So now is the time. The time is now. Go get a business bank account in your business name with your with the EIN number and not your social security number. Okay? Getting legally structured is going to open up a world of opportunities for you, more funding opportunities. We turn down people for funding opportunities because they don't have their business in order. Even our grant program requires that we show proof of registered business. Anybody can say they have a business and request a grant. We know people have done that throughout the pandemic and they don't have a legitimate business. And so we don't want to give money to people that don't have a business. There's real businesses in need. So just like us, the SBA is the same way and other programs are the same way. They want to make sure that they're dealing with the real person with a real business. And there's just certain ways that you show up that will tell them that you either are serious about your business or you're not. I've applied for grants and I've asked them, why did you choose me over other people? Why did they not get chosen? And one of the main reasons is because based on their application, we didn't feel they took their business seriously. You don't want that to be the answer. We already know grants are mostly competitive, right? And so you need to be able to stand out and you need to show them that you have a real business. And then you need to also, let me just state this here, whether it's a grant or other type of funding, most of the time you need a website. You need that anyway as a business. We already know 50% of businesses don't even have a website. That means you're already losing business because most reputable companies have a website that you can go to. And when these grantors are looking at your application, they're not just looking at the write-up, they're searching you online. I said this many years ago. They're looking at your Facebooks, they're looking at your Instagrams, they're looking at you on LinkedIn, they're Googling you to see what pops up. And if nothing pops up on your business and you've been in business 2, 3, 4, and 5 years and you Google your business, Google your business. What pops up? If nothing's popping up, that's a problem. Then that they're leery to give you a grant. Because it's like, is this a real business? We don't see anything anywhere in the universe. Google, the largest search engine, and they can't find you. That's a problem. That right there can cost you a grant and other funding opportunities. I know the funding we give right now, capital, same day capital, you have to have a website, at minimum a Facebook business page. Like, how do people find you? Like, you know, there's too many fly-by-night businesses, and that they're not willing to take that risk on you being a fly-by-night business. And they want to find real businesses that are trying to grow and expand, trying to recover, and they want to give them the money. So if that's you, let's show up as the CEO that we know that you can be. Take those steps. Invest in yourself. Reinvest money in your business. Those of you that have gotten PPP, gotten EIDL, other grants, this is the time to reinvest in your business. Experts that you need, whether it's an attorney, whether it's an accountant, a tax professional to help you get your business in order, a marketing professional like us that can help you get your branding in order, to help you expand your visibility. That's why we use this platform, to help women amplify their exposure and their influence across all platforms. That's why we're here. And so we encourage you all to take that action on behalf of your business. We encourage you to go after the grant money that's available. There's going to be more available tomorrow. There'll be more available the next day. There'll be more available the next day. And so we just want you to be positioned to be one of those that get it. There is a grant with your name on it. I don't care if you haven't gotten one before. There is a grant with your name on it. It's just whether you're ready right now or you're getting ready to get it. Don't let it go to somebody else when it could have gone to you, but you did not follow our direction. Seriously, follow our direction, use our resources and tools, and you will get a grant, some stimulus money for your business. You will get it. I will guarantee if you, but I can't guarantee you will take action because I can't. I can educate you. I can share the tools, but I'm not with you to hold your hand to make sure that you're taking action on behalf of your business. The only one I have control over is me, and I'm making sure I get my money. Okay. And this has transformed my business. I have a team of 7 right now because of grant money that I don't have to pay back. And it's helped me to reinvest in my business to make more money in my business. So have a plan for your money. Go out and get it. Continue to be the boss with amplified impact. Continue to stay safe and in good health. Have a wonderful day.